Today I'm taking a look at Kanoodle, and according to the manufacturer, Kanoodle is a caboodle of brain-teasing puzzles. That's a pretty bold claim, and we'll be putting it to the test shortly. But first, what is Kanoodle exactly? It is a puzzle toy that has two different kinds of puzzles. You have two-dimensional puzzles, and then you have three-dimensional puzzles. Let's go ahead and open it up, and I will show you what that means. What's interesting about Kanoodle is that the carrying case is also the game board. So you can see on the inside, you have your pieces and the layout for the two-dimensional puzzles. And then on the back, you have your layout for the three-dimensional puzzles, as well as there looks like there's maybe 10, 12 patents on there. They patented the heck out of this thing. So let's take a look at what's inside the box. It's pretty straightforward. It's these 12 little puzzle pieces that they call noodles, and each piece is, I'll just dump these out. Each piece is just a series of connected little balls, and the pieces fit nicely into these little hemispherical slots on the game board. So how do you play Kanoodle? Well, you have to refer to this little instruction book here, and the basic premise is that you find a puzzle. You set up the pieces on the board so that they mirror what you're seeing in the puzzle, and then you use the remaining pieces to fill in the empty slots. So for example, let's take puzzle number 80. You would set up the board so that it looks like that, and then you would use the remaining pieces to fill in all the empty spots. Pretty straightforward concept, but they do get pretty hard as you move up to the upper levels. There are 6 different levels, starting from level 1, which they call Pro, which is kind of silly because all of the Pro level puzzles basically involve putting the one remaining piece in the only possible remaining slot it can go. These are so easy that I don't see the point of actually doing them. But when you get up to a level, let's say a level 5 expert puzzle, you can see that there are a lot of open spots there, a lot of different combinations for the pieces to go into, and it can get pretty difficult. Also, the number of the level corresponds to how many pieces are remaining when you start the puzzle. So a level 3 puzzle means that there are 3 noodles left when you're starting the puzzle. A level 6 means there are 6 noodles left at the beginning. You get the idea. So let's just go ahead and do one. I'll start out with a level 3 because that won't be so hard that I embarrass myself on camera. And we will just do, how about number 49? So what I want to do is get it set up so that it looks exactly like that diagram. Sometimes the board doesn't want to lay flat, so I stretch it back like that. And okay, let's get it set up. Now we're ready to start the puzzle, and these are the 3 pieces that we have remaining that we have to find homes for. So I'll just go ahead and see if I can figure this one out. Okay, there we go. Not super hard, and some of these are pretty easy. I've done a number of these before I shot the video just to kind of test out the game and get an idea of what was going on. And there's really a lot of variation even within each level. Some of them are super easy like this. Some of them can be a little bit trickier. Let's try number 5. That might be a little bit more interesting. And we'll just do 109 because that one is easy to see when it's sticking out from under the game board. this one is all ready to go. Here are the 5 pieces that are remaining. Okay, there we go. That one was a little trickier. And some of these other level 5s have actually taken me even longer than that. And I have attempted a couple level 6s, and they have been very difficult. So there's actually a lot to these puzzles, especially the more advanced ones. And I should point out, too, that even though some of these easier puzzles aren't that fun for me, this game is designed for children ages 7 and up, and I'm guessing that these would probably be a little bit more challenging for your average 7 or 8-year-old. So let's move on to one of the 3D puzzles. Let's throw in that third dimension, and it's the same basic concept, except you are trying to complete a pyramid shape. So the diagram will give you a partially completed pyramid, and then you have to put in the pieces and finish it up. These are a little bit trickier just because it's a little tougher to read these 3-dimensional diagrams. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, but it can still be kind of challenging. And I should also point out that there are just 3 levels for the 3D puzzle. It's the same premise as the 2-dimensional puzzles, where the number of the level corresponds to the number of pieces left over when you start the puzzle. So let's do 176. We are ready to start solving the puzzle, and here's what we're dealing with right now. You can see that there are some open spots needed to complete the pyramid, so let's go ahead and do it. There you have it, the completed 3-dimensional puzzle. One of the hardest things about the 3D puzzles is just getting them set up. I've done this a handful of times, so I've gotten a little bit better at reading these diagrams, but the first couple times I did it, it was pretty tricky. And I haven't really attempted any of the level 3 puzzles, but they do look more difficult, a little more tricky than the 2D puzzles, just because there are so many more possibilities for where the pieces can go. And when you are done with the puzzle, you take all the pieces and you put them back in the handy little carrying case. So that is Kanoodle. I like this toy. There's something soothing about manipulating these little pieces, about solving the puzzles. Even if some of them aren't super hard, it's still kind of a calming experience. It's a well-made product. The case is heavy duty. The pieces are pretty rugged. I don't see anything breaking or wearing out, even with a bunch of kids using them. I can see this being a toy that you can get a lot of mileage out of. There are a lot of different difficulty levels. There are the 2D and the 3D puzzles. I like this thing, especially for the money. It was a little bit under $9 on Amazon, pretty affordable. So even if you get it for your kid and they don't fall in love with it, not the end of the world. This was one of the most highly rated puzzle toys on Amazon, which is one of the reasons why I decided to check it out. There is a link down below if you want to take a look at it for yourself. There are a couple other versions of Kanoodle available as well. There are two called Genius and Extreme versions that are just, I guess, harder versions of this if you want something that's a little bit more of a challenge. And there's also one called Head to Head that looks like fun, and it's sort of a battleship-like arrangement where each player has their own board, and in the middle is the puzzle that they're trying to solve. And whoever solves the puzzle first pushes a little button, and it sends their opponent's pieces flying and makes them feel very bad about themselves. Thanks for watching, and if you have any requests, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'll see you next time.